EU5 AARs are no more. It's time to show you an actual footage of the goddamn game. Yes, in only 4 days you'll be able to play this game by yourself, or maybe this is the day where you decide if you're gonna buy it or not. Important note, this video is sponsored by Paradox, that's why I was allowed to release it before the actual embargo date, which is the 2nd of November. I was asked to showcase you one of the key nations in that game, which is the Ottomans, and I'm gonna bring them from being a tiny little beylik to become an Ottoman Empire and dominate not only the whole region, but maybe even the continent. You better join this series because it's gonna be multiple videos I'll be releasing over the next few days, with this video being the longest by far, with over an hour of footage of the game, of me trying to get you through the various mechanics and show you how nice this game is while playing as the Ottomans. Fasten your seatbelts, and if you decide to buy EU5 after this video, make sure to use the link in the pinned comment to support the channel. Let's get straight to this content. When starting a new campaign, I can just go ahead and select one of the recommended countries, or just see the world map just like in EU4. I need to show you this because it is just a beautiful screen, and it's good that they're bringing back some actual graphics to the game. And the nation that I chose for that pre-release video is obviously the Ottomans. The country focus is to expand, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But on this screen I unfortunately don't have extra settings, so I'm gonna go back to the world screen to show you what settings I'm gonna set up. This is the beautiful map of EU5. I see the settled countries by default, but you can see we can also sort it by building based countries, so we'll be having Hansa over here or some of the others. Pop-based countries, which will be any natives. That's why the New World and Africa seem empty, because they have plenty of natives that are pop-based countries or army-based countries, which are basically the hordes. Well, I'll be playing one of the recommended countries. You see, I can search for any country. For example, if you'd like to know, oh, is there Shimazu in game? You can just search for it, but in my case, it's gonna be one of the first on the list, the Ottomans. Very easy country, because I'm just a newbie over here with around 420 of hours in game. As for the settings, I'm gonna play on normal difficulty with historical AI and enabled missions, giving rewards for every single task. Flavor-wise, I want any formable country be available. Allow AI to colonize, but exploration will be done by the Western countries. For culture conversion, I want to allow converting to any culture inside the country. I don't think I'm gonna change my culture, but that's just FYI. For example, if you wanted to change a very different country, you can set it up on these settings here. Same for the religion conversions. I'm gonna allow to change to any present in the country. So for example, if you wanted to become Orthodox, I could easily do that. Black Death origin, institution spawn, it's gonna be all default, and Byzantium is gonna be called Eastern Roman Empire. Let's get started. Let's see how fast the game is gonna switch the screen. I'm just immediately going into the screen of the game. Well, the Ottomans, as you can see, they're pretty small, especially compared to the Eastern Roman Empire. These guys have 1.9 million people, I have 700,000, but it's in a very good spot to set everything up. You see, the UI also improved a lot since May when I was showing you the game. For example, that portrait, I think it looks much better. I'm actually enjoying it by now. I'm gonna set up automation right away, and the only automation that I'll be using is gonna be replacing generals and admirals, just so I don't have to micromanage it. Everything else I'll be doing myself. That's why I'm gonna already go to the trade and turn off the automation that you have set up by default. Set up rivals, that's gonna be obviously Byzantium, but I can also go and set up Cilicia as one of my rivals. They usually become a subject of Egypt very fast. There'll be multiple laws that you have pre-selected in the country, but also a few laws that you can choose by yourself at the start of the game. So for example, I can choose the rules of the harem. Usually laws will be just giving you modifiers or penalties, but also changing your societal values. In case of the harem, I definitely want it to improve my legitimacy, because improving legitimacy simply costs money, so that saves us some money. And another thing that's important here is that the laws are not implemented immediately. You see that it's gonna take time for exactly 2 years to get implemented, which can be sped up with your legislative efficiency. What's also interesting, it's not like at 0 you get nothing and you only get modifier when it reaches 100. Just the modifiers that you see here, they'll be steadily increasing with the percentage increase. So right now at 10% I'll be getting 0.01 of monthly legitimacy. For slaves, let's allow slave religion. Why for the Sharia law, we are gonna go towards increased trade efficiency. I just don't like the societal values the other laws are giving me. For the guarantee form, we start by default with Anatolian Bellic, like any other Bellic in game, which gives the unjustified war on the same religion cost, possible guarantee forms, so this simply doesn't take a guarantee form, but also additional cabinet seats, and most of the stuff in the game will be done via cabinets, and non-cartel levy size, which is important because, let me show you the cultures map mode, because there's goddamn lots of Greeks still in Anatolia, so their increase in the levies is very important for us. I can choose another reform myself, and you see there's pretty big choice. A lot of reforms will depend on your societal values. For example, harbor administration requires you to have 50 towards naval, and there'll be a lot more unlocked over the game progress. So how about we go ahead and take increased crown power? And for now, we'll not take anything else, I'll be thinking about the others. For the privileges, you see we'll be having plenty of pre-selected ones, and a few are unique. For example, Ghazi Lords gives me army morale and levy size, but also a lot of progress towards decentralization. I want satisfaction equilibrium to be higher, so I'm gonna take another privilege. So how about we go and take army levy size? Actually, and levy combat efficiency, it doesn't impact their loyalty, but this is actually pretty important in early game for increased quality for armies, and each privilege I give is gonna reduce my legitimacy, so you'll see this decreasing over time. From ulema, stability investment and max literacy. From the burghers, we want to allow them to build roads, because it's also centralization societal value, which is very important for me. We will also take the market attraction and production efficiency / capital economy societal value. Then finally we can also take increased tax efficiency accompanied by innovative societal value, but decreased tax from the burgher estate. From the commoners, I just need a little bit because you see their satisfaction equilibrium is below 50%, so I want to increase it just a little bit. How about we just take this one, which doesn't decrease their influence too much. From Zimi, I want to increase the monthly progress to humanism, and also that's simply more characters in the cabinet. All of this decrease my crownland, but it is fine, and you see also 31 of legitimacy. The estates are done. Now thanks to this I'll be able to tax these estates a little bit more. Let me just set up minting, so I'm also not getting inflation. And then for all of this few guys I'm gonna get automations, so they're gonna tax the estates up to the loyalty not dropping below 50. From the tribes, I'm not gonna tax anything because it's 0, so I just gonna keep their loyalty high. And ulema, I'm not taxing them because they just don't make much money, and the higher loyalty they have, the more monthly research progress I'm gonna get. So now my balance with this is 15, but we have to make some adjustments. I will decrease diplomatic spending, I'm not having any subjects, but make cost of the court and stability investments to the maximum, just so I'm heading for this two to be at 100. Another important aspect of your game are gonna be the cabinet members. You'll see that there's plenty of actions that you can do via these cabinet members, like changing your societal values, developing a province, integrating a province, changing cultures, changing religions, increasing stability, which I'm gonna use one of these guys for already. And since I'm not conquering anything yet, they're gonna also work on some other aspects, like increasing control in our capital state, as well as increasing our legitimacy. By right-clicking here, I can choose what kind of characters I'm gonna use for these actions, and I'm gonna focus on guys with high mil for every of these actions, because I will be using all of these cabinet members later for integrating my provinces. So, Osmanoglu Suleiman, please come. You need a high admin guy, but instead I'm gonna get a guy that has just a little bit more of mil with lower admin. and the third guy needs high meal anyway. For the religion, I'll be going through this over the game, but for now I can take one decision that is gonna give me a modifier for 5 years, that is increasing stability investment, but it also giving me associated value towards jurisprudence. And that works very similar to EU4, where you'll see that you have mysticism versus jurisprudence, where at max, jurisprudence gives you efficiency of cabinet, research speed, and clergy satisfaction, while mysticism gives you army morale, pop conversion speed, and also clergy satisfaction. Let's go for the advances. Obviously, we are still in the Age of Traditions, which is gonna end in 5 years. Most of the advances here are already taken, and there will be multiple unique advances that are here for purely the Ottoman. Like, for example, special subject type, Ujbey, increased speed of integration, and that's an insane amount. It's like comparable to the core creation cost that they have in EU4. You have the discipline here, slave rate efficiency, increased sailors and manpower, or like stuff for the culture, nomadic legacy, for the Turkish culture, that gives me ruler disease resistance. That's gonna be useful for the Black Death. Anyway, you see this part of the tree is to be unlocked. Over here I'll definitely need the cultural tradition. All of these modifiers are pretty nice, but nothing game breaking. Research speed is impacted by the monthly research progress, and that can be increased by loyalty of your clergy, your average literacy, or simply stacking various modifiers. You see right now I have 1.36. In my India campaign I did manage to get to like 3.5, 3.6, so in mid-late game I'll be heading towards that number as well. There's not much interesting we can do with the trade. You see our market is Constantinople, which we definitely will want to take over. But there's some saffron and dyes in our market that we can sell with a nice profit to external markets. With the money that I'm having, I'm just gonna invest a little bit into RGOs, and I'm gonna use the max expand to just find the ones with the highest profit, which is, as you see, iron and silk, but I'm not gonna spend all of my money. This will be needed for some of my next actions. Because when I am pause, I think after a month tick, you'll see we're getting the situation rise of the Ottomans, which is giving me guarantee form legacy of Osman. That guarantee form is also gonna take 2 years to be unlocked, but you see at max it's gonna give me another speed of integration, monthly control, it doesn't take reform slot, another cabinet seat, and then also 33% antagonist received, which is comparable to AE impact, and raid religious enemies for slaves. So when I'll be sieging down locations of the other religions, I will be actually stealing their population as slaves. That also gives me the situation where the strongest Beylik having most of the interactions here available. And as you see, one of the things that we'll be able to do is to press claims, but for that I actually need a little bit more of money. So how about we cancel one of that RGO builds we just did. I'm gonna make the interaction to have a claim. Now there are a few choices. Issue is that Mamluks start alliance with both Karamans and Kandar, so that slows my expansion around here. So that's why we'll most likely be expanding around here, but also see that Germians, they start with all of these guys as subjects. This hack box is gonna break via an event, but I might still want to declare on them, because the only other option that I'm having is attacking these guys, but the only ones guys around with an actual fort. So that might be problematic to siege this down. So I'm gonna press claim on Kutaya, which gives me that claim for the next 4 years. It's a standard casus belli. So let me start paying for my army, and we will be also clicking a mission. You see, the missions, don't compare them to EU4. They go rather to help you learn the game, how the different stuff works, and also give you some additional bonuses along the way. And that's why I'm gonna go for the expansion mission for the regional expansion. You see, it's pretty straightforward. I can start with raising a war chest, which is gonna give me maximum tax, but also for the duration of it, for the next 1 year, I'll be getting some additional events. Raise the army is gonna give me additional stats for my ruler, while obtain casus belli which is gonna give me additional army tradition and progress towards belligerent. Belligerent is one of the societal values that I would definitely want to stack, because it gives war score cost and antagonism given from taking lands. So that plays very nicely with the legacy of Osman guarantee form that I would be having for the duration of the rise of the Ottoman situation. I could declare the war, but it would cost me stability if I did it right now, because my relations with the Germanians is a little bit too high. That's why I'm gonna start with a hostile action to send an insult. And here there's no split between an insult and scornful insult. It's all scornful insults, as you can see. I can, like, for example, that Germanian know nothing about running a state. That's absolutely true. Let's just break them. What replaces mission system in EU5, besides the situations, are also dynamic historical events. Some of them have simple trigger modifiers, like just a year, or they have like mean time to happen. And the others will require you, for example, to claim Constantinople, or do some other stuff. So a lot of the dynamic historical events actually works like missions. The disadvantage of this dynamic historical events is that you don't know what are the trigger modifiers. They're not set anywhere, so I hope that it could be added at one point to the game. If not, I'll be using the EU5 wiki once it's out. So you see, the first option gives me reduced Greeks pops satisfaction, but I get prestige and legitimacy. Alternatively, I can lose out of stability, but make Greek my core language, or I can make both Greeks and Zimi happy. But I'm gonna go for the historical option over here. The opinion is still pretty good, so let me also go to economic actions and embargo them, and I don't think I have anything else to reduce it farther than 59. Now everyone loves me and wants to have a loyal marriage. Let's maybe do it with one of the countries that I don't plan to fight. Like, for example, these guys, which gives me additional prestige. Influx of Anatolian scholars, just another dynamic historical event, which is gonna give me additional research progress and progress to centralization, which I really need. Or I can get stability, but it's not much of it. Anyway, let's declare that war. I can select the casus belli. It's still too high relations, which is unfortunate, but it's just minus 10, so we don't mind. And so, you know, the AE I'm gonna get from this war, I'm not gonna have this problem with anyone else in Anatolia. So let's declare it. You see, that's a pretty big war versus all of these guys, but with the good troops management, I should be totally fine. Did that give me an AE? I don't think it did. So it works a bit differently than in EU4. And let me go ahead and raise all of the levies. Now that's 6.3 thousand. I think they should have comparable, if not a higher amount of the guys than I do, but I should be better at managing the troops. Plus I have 200 of a standing army. You'll see that they improved nicely, like how the battle screen looks like, but I just wiped them. How about we try doing this, guys? Look, you're having each of, like, you have central, you have the flanks. Since my army initiative is higher, I did get more troops on the battlefield already. One of their flanks is already killed, another one is killed. And that was an easy battle. I can actually see how many troops they have. They have 9,000. Did they bring any allies besides them? No, I don't think they did. So I have to just play it smart. So if I'm in Kutaya, I'm just gonna go ahead and detach siege and go kill these guys now. You'll see the capital marked as over here. The capital provinces are also visible with additional flags. That's why I'm going after them, because sieging a capital of a province is gonna get you every location that province sieged, unless there's a fort blocking it. So let me target this capitals of each of the provinces to get everything sieged faster, but I'm still not carpet sieging, just to avoid getting caught by a bigger stack with their big army. They're looking what I would like, so focusing on a location where I have actually a fort. So please send more troops there while I'm carpet sieging their locations. I'll anyway not rush taking any lands for a simple reason. I'm still looking at legacy of Osman. So see, as it is 24%, I'm having antagonism received at 7% because it is slowly increasing. See, another dynamic historical events, I can increase pops of Greek satisfaction increased, Or I can get Ulema happy. Well, let's just get these guys happy for now. I think some of the subjects might be simply disloyal, that's why they're not really getting all together and attacking me. One of the things that I still not super like in the balance is that the war score from battles is very impactful. You see I have 50% from battles already in the early game, and then over the time they decrease it with every age, how big of an impact of it is. And I think in late game is still giving too little impact, while it gives too much impact in the early game. But anyway, I could probably even aim on piecing out soon, even fully annexing Germian, without getting any bigger coalition, but as mentioned, I want the legacy of Osman to be embraced first. One of the things about the situation is that when I get one of these locations like Konya, Erzurum, Sivas or Tabriz, if I get all of them, I'll get additional aesthetic privilege for the burghers, the trunk road to Erzurum, but obviously we don't have them yet. The Germians just got an event where they're gonna lose all their subjects. They already did. Which is actually not that bad news for us. I don't want to spend too much AE on these lands, especially that this Greek and Orthodox lands will make the boys in the Balkans very unhappy about us, and there's high chance I can get some of these guys as my subjects via an event. So I can actually now separate piece each of them for some money, as well as war reparations. I don't think they should have any alliances now, so let's just do this to Karasids. Let's do the same to Saruhanids. That money should be always also useful. Take these guys down, and soon also these guys. The restoration of Iznik, I can either make it less development, prosperity and satisfaction there, which is historical, or I can actually spend some money to increase development and prosperity. And since I have money, let's spend it. Since I'm at war, I can take another mission, which give me another series of events for the next year. Plenty of dynamic historical events that the Ottomans are getting, especially in the early game. The Great Mosque of Bursa is gonna start building madrasa in Bursa, so my capital, which gives all of these modifiers. Definitely the pop conversion speed is gonna be of use, and the price is very low, why it also gives me the societal value that I'm looking for. You see, taking full money and war reparations for I need, it just gives me how much of truce time? 1343, so it's just less than 5 years, so that's why it's super worth. General truce times in these games are a bit shorter than in EU4, which is I think natural of the amount of the locations that we are having. I increased control in Bursa to 100, so now I'm gonna increase it in the next province, but soon all of these guys, all they will be doing is obviously integrating locations. Looks like Achis just killed Kandarids. Did they break alliance between Kandarids and Mamluks? Great, so now I can actually kill both. I saw it happen very often, same as I saw these two guys' alliance breaking. Two dynamic historical events in one day. The Drums of War is gonna give me the progress towards centralization and innovative. I love it. And the Means of the Old Sultanate is about taking locations with silver. Just about societal values. Look, the one that I just got is the towards centralization, but even with all the bonuses that I stacked, I'm still going towards decentralization, which I don't like because at max it gives you these modifiers, which is not bad, but centralization, my friends, gives proximity cost and crown power. That's definitely something I'll have to focus on, so we'll have to work on changing some of this laws to fix the decentralization. That's a lucky event, just cause. Guys, I never even used console this game. I know you might think content creators and some of them use console commands, but in EU5, I think I know where console is. It's not where it is in EU4, but I never used it, and I don't know any console commands, but I just got just causes, which is reduce antagonists received. What they changed also with the events in EU4, you could just unpause for 3 months before it was accepted, but you see nothing happens when I try to pause here, so I just have to click the event to continue. So now you'll see that my antagonist received is minus 43%, and then I'm also getting the reduced antagonism from taking lands. So when I take these lands, you see it's just 40 antagonism, which is great for us. I'll be able to go after these guys immediately. Coins in our own name, of course we should, but it's just 5 legitimacy. Actually, I'm not gonna take it. which is unfortunate, but I need that money to press the new claims over here. Oh, I just got a casus belli on a claim from Karasids. So when my truce ends with them, I assume like, what, 3 years? In 2.5 years, I'll be able to attack. So before that, I have to go and defeat Ahis. And there goes the legacy of Osman. So it gives me now the fourth reform that I can take. I would go for Diplorep, but that conciliatory doesn't work for me. So instead I'm gonna go for the Shonen food production. And the new cabinet member is here. Let me just piece out these guys. And use that guy immediately to start integrating the locations I took. I also, instead of increased control, that increased control is actually pretty useful. I might keep it. Maybe the guy taking care of the legitimacy is gonna start integrating. Only, you know what, this guy can also just start integrating, it's fine, let's just do it fast. Stability is something that I will keep an advisor on, the cabinet member. Let's just anyway go ahead and prepare to attack Ahis. So I'm gonna press claim again. You see I have another casus belli called Invade Neighbor Beylik, which takes my stability, but gives us the insult CB. I think I can use it when there's a civil war ongoing in a country. But anyway, Ahis is what I'm gonna focus on. The next mission I can just start getting modifiers from one of the provinces I took over. So for example, Kutaya. You see I'm getting speed of integration here, but also prosperity. And the next one is to fix the integration here. But anyway, let's get that claim on Ankara. And immediately declare the war. See, I would help them. But not so likely. So let's just go ahead and declare the war and have some fun. I can also invite a religious figure. So this will be, you know, religious figures will be characters appearing over time in game. Some of them do not have any requirements to be picked. Some have them will have requirement to have 50 mysticism. But this guy doesn't require anything and gives me research progress as well as pop conversion speed. Very useful modifiers. Our main school is also Maturidi, which gives me just 2 runs through faith, so not much. But as you see, I could also change the main school with a bit of stability to Ashari. What does Ashari give? Move research progress. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't have stability to invest. I think that these are events not really Ottoman based, but they're rather like for the strongest Beylik. Is that will be getting from time to time events to increase speed of integration of the lands in Anatolia, which is very useful to get this done faster, because you see these integrations, they're pretty slow. This one will take me 18 more years. Oh, this guy's joined the war after all. Why? It said, oh, when is this CB ending? Okay, I should have still enough time, but I need to separate Pism ASAP. That just causes is ending in... Okay, I thought we have not much time, but it's 8 more years to those for 10 years modify. We have to... That was super lucky, guys. Extreme lucky. Of course, I'm not going for an achievement or speedrun, but I had a lot of luck getting this. Okay, let's just make sure that I might piece these guys. You can generally not piece out or separate piece a war ally for the first 12 months of the war, so I could do it in just 3 months, unless you fully occupy them. So you'll see once this location gets occupied, I will be able to send a peace deal and a white peace. So I get a short truce. So what's the shorter truce? I actually didn't check it. So the truce is gonna be for just 3 years. Perfect, to declare the war for the subjugation. That's what I'm talking about. We can get Kandarids as a subject, diplomatically. They're pretty small, so actually it's a higher chance why I'm not that strong. Let's just take Divan, which is our parliament. Let's make it in the capital Bursa. See, that's the modifiers. We're gonna move to centralization by making a capital. And I'm gonna take something that gives me a chance to pass it, but also gives me diplomatic reputation, because I think Diplorep does impact these events. Let's just take this. And then let's see if they're gonna become my subject. They refused. But at least it gives me a claim on them for the next 4 years. During the parliaments, I can take additional stuff like a claim, increased amount of levies, increased amount of tax, change a law, that's a very important one. And then agendas from states to increase the support, but these are pretty useless, unfortunately. How about what I'm gonna lose? I'm gonna lose stability if it doesn't pass. It's fine, let's just change one of the laws that impacts our centralization. This one, administrative system, you said it gives me food, but decentralization. I can change it to get centralization and efficiency of my cabinet. So how good the impact of the actions from the cabinet members is. And so now, how is the associative value? Is it? Yes, it's going towards centralization. But remember, some of the modifiers that I'm having, they are temporary. Let's just separate piece these guys. I can take some money again on reparations. Egypt would like a royal marriage, sure, as long as you guys don't attack me early game. Egypt has not only the same amount of the levies, but also they have regular armies. Anyway, let's piece this out. So that's another plenty of AE, but still nobody cares, and even the countries that are Orthodox, I lose, I guess, expansion for conquering these lands. Let's take some money on top of that. Now, what's important in EU5 is you can't integrate everything yourself, so usually it's strong to release subjects that already have cores on these lands. But Ottomans integrate really fast, so I'm not gonna release any subjects in these lands. I'm gonna still use subjects, but via the events that you've seen, as well as the casus belli. So now that I have casus belli on these guys and these guys, these are my next targets to get them as my vassals. Because unfortunately they allied each other, and since Karasit is more important, I'm gonna wait for the truce. It's 2 years, and these guys seem to be a subject to Karasids. Let's wait for the truce of these guys to end. You see the AE is very nice. How about Karaman? What? Karamanis is a subject of Eretnits. That is actually good news for us, because it means they're not allied to Egypt. Looks like Jalarids, they broke, so Eretnits, they are actually getting close in the strength to us. Let's get a claim on Karamanids then. And I have some fun while waiting for the truce of Karasids to end. So let's, that's gonna be a bit closer probably, because these two should have a nice amount of armies. I need just to reduce our Eretnits relations, I think, right? Yeah, let's just go ahead and send them an insult. I also cannot declare that war, because I am about to have a civil war. See, these guys are already at 100%, but they couldn't begin the civil war because I was in a war already. So that's kind of like a counter for exploiting the wars, not going to civil war. I'll have to quickly handle that. At least they did not get any forts, because I wanted to complain I didn't turn off the forts. But yeah, let's just quickly erase some levies. I think these two guys should be enough. Let me show you one of my favorite modifiers, favorite mechanics, where I'll have to do a few things. Like, first of all, let's just win that battle. Okay, now that I crushed them, I can just go ahead and choose one of the military objectives, which is gonna be the carpet siege. And that's a carpet siege that actually works. Just look at that. See, they're only focusing on province capitals, because besieging a province capital in a civil war will siege down the whole province. So this way that was done very quickly. Let's just go ahead and finish off these guys. There goes Age of Renaissance. In each age you'll be able to choose one of the 3 sets of advances that are unique for that age, from the admin focus, diplo focus and military focus. For myself, I think the admin is usually what I take, but let's see if there's anything interesting in the mil focus. Is there like AE impact, or maybe war score costs, non-cartel levy size and levy combat efficiency are definitely useful, especially if I would like to beat the Mamluks. Let's see the diplo as well, the one for diplomats. There's more focused on trade and diplomacy in general. There's war score costs here from diplo, so I could think about taking it, especially here we've got the Devil of Zlewikk casus belli. which is more for later in the game. Proximity cost, but just 2.5%. And the max literacy. I think that war score cost might be worth taking, but I'm gonna take for admin focus. The first institution also appeared, banking, that started in Venetia. Anyway, if the civil war ended, I need to disband the levies first, because we cannot declare war of the levies up. And let's declare that war of the caravans. Unfortunately, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 forts to besiege down that war. Well, it will be just fine. With another event, I got Kandarids as my subjects this time, so it's good that I didn't attack them. Renaissance started in Mantua. These guys are sieging up Ankara. Actually, I think I'm not gonna interfere with that. I'm gonna let them do so, and just myself go ahead and start carpet sieging. Since I have some money saved, I remember that because I got smallpox, I've lost 13k of my population because of that. I'm gonna invest some money into hospitals. Let's just find them. Definitely my 2 cities. See, when I go to the locations rankings, I have city in Izmit and Bursa. Also got Ankara, but in this 2 I have a high control, so let's build the hospitals there. Yeah, what hospitals even do? Hospitals, my friends, is giving character life expectancy and disease resistance. I'm also using the disease to kill the armies here. Let me just see what's the map of the disease. Yes, I didn't step into this myself. Oh, my own armies are also having some disease. But let's see if over a month they lose something. 6.1 thousand. I have 5.7. I've lost. Yeah, I think I've lost, and they did as well. Not sure if I have big enough army to defeat them, but let's see. Worst case, I'm gonna start running away. Let's see the losses here and here. Looks like we are losing a bit more. That might not be the best idea for us to keep this battle. But if we break this flank, which I'm about to do, and this flank will start attacking the center, I should have a chance of winning. You see, now they're getting more damage. I just don't have anything in the center myself, so that's a problem. Yeah, I think I'm losing. Yeah, let's run away from this battle. I still have troops here, I have to bring them. Let's try again now. Quantity advantage, I think that should be more than easy. So I've destroyed them. I have already 50% of the war score. I have to take the war goal first. See, I occupy pretty much everything outside of the war goal. Let's go and take care of that now. So there's gold missing in our node. That's why actually importing the gold should give me a bit more of trade income. Since I conquered Achis, I've got the Achis Brotherhood event. So that I assume that was the trigger modifier with some time to happen, which gives me Achi bureaucrats with additional trade efficiency and legislative efficiency for the next 15 years. Anyway, how much can I take? Can I fully annex the Karamanids? Oh boys, guys, I could. How is the AE? It is actually not that bad. What if I want also to take a lot from Eretnids, up to 100 of war score? That's a lot. That's absolutely not bad. When is my... Oh, did I lose the CB on these guys already? I'll have to use the CB from Rise of the Turks, just so these guys don't join the coalition. Do you know, guys? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Mercantile influence grows in Anatolia immediately, which gives me the trunk road to Erzurum, which you discussed, this trade efficiency. And yeah, let's just take it. That should be higher tax I should be able to take from them. And I definitely cannot hold all of this myself. It's all unintegrated. Let's release some subjects to handle this integration. About some historical subjects. So Attaids would get this. You said Karaman is definitely too big. Germiads, no. Achis, no. So I have to release custom subjects. How about we release something here in the middle? So let's make them our fiefdom. And I will also feed them with Igel. I think I was gonna release another one here. These lands are anyway far away from me, so even if I integrate them, I wouldn't have high control. So using custom subjects should help out. Kursze here should be fine. And I'm also gonna feed them a little bit. With these locations. This. Also this and this. Let's just keep everything for ourselves. You see, they don't have my coral, because I used that setting that they have blended coral, but I could also make them have directly the same coral as I do. That's just an option, that is your preference, or you could just make them use their normal corals just like in EU4. Anyway, let's immediately look at the AE, which is just this guys and this guys being able to join. And I'm gonna attack the Karasids immediately. I just press claims on them. I could seek relations with Eastern Rome for the cause of some legitimacy. Well, each of these events is pretty positive for us, so let's see what we're gonna get. We must recognize our influence in Anatolia, which gives me speed of integration if they accept. This would just give them some negative modifiers, and I would get some money. This would get me an cabinet member. How? Or never mind, it gives me half its legitimacy back. Let's try this. I want the speed of integration. And they just send me a guy with 98 in the admin skill. Let's anyway dissolve the levies and prepare ready to attack Karasids. I should spend a bit more on my diplomacy, so I will be able to start improving relations with these guys. Oh no! Our ruler just died. That's not good. I'm not gonna save scan this. But with this stats of the ruler, where do I check it? He gives me more army morale because he's really good at the military. Diplomatic reputation is pretty... I mean, he's not bad. It could be better. Some first integrations are finishing, and we still have plenty to go even with the subjects done. How about we change another law via our parliament? In the distribution of power, we are losing another decentralization. So how about we choose something more useful, like higher tax from the burghers, because long term they should be giving me the most money from taxes anyway. You see, for now they give me 1.39, so it's commoners actually giving more. Zlewikk giving so much. That's actually so nice. Konya is having a Seljuk mint. Where is it? There it is. It gives me proximity cost, crown power. Well, this is still pretty bad. But I need to integrate this first. And I think I gave away a gold mine, silver mine to these guys. But again, actually by them having a higher control that is more useful. I can actually probably go ahead here. Now in the subjects actions I can go on divert trade to take half of the trade advantage. Which will make them a bit disloyal. We're gonna easily fix it. Anyway, let's piece out these guys. Just again, not that bad with the AE. Just look at it. These guys are already in the coalition, aren't they? And I should try going to where I need already. Because I don't have truce, and they could join the coalition. But I can't press claims for another year. Eastern Rome joined the coalition, and actually now I'm counting for that coalition to attack, as that's gonna help me handle the coalition a bit easier. And they listened just a few months later, they declared. So that's what I'm gonna handle. Unfortunately, it wasn't Rome that declared, because then I would just take some lands from Rome. It was these guys. That's still nice, nice turns to recover. Remember, it's really strong amount of the wars could get from the battles, and that's what I'm gonna focus on. Getting province occupied over here gave me 2,200 pops as slaves. That's the slave rates. Same taking this location, 4,000 pops as slaves. Now yeah, let's get some war score from winning battles. That's 3 war score, we need more. Wait! What? Mamluks are also at war with Byzantium. First war of Egyptian aggression. What do you want even to take? You don't border Byzantines. Oops, the Black Death just started. Of course it is just in here, historically, but it's gonna soon come here. In a coalition war you cannot separate peace, and you also cannot take lands from non-target. No, the guys that did not declare on you. So from Hamid, I could think about taking just a bit less of the lands. Because if I want to take everything, it's gonna take time. But yeah, let's just get all of this. Yeah? Yeah, let's just get out of this war. There's no need to spend any more resources on it. Yeah, easy peasy. I think now I could get a claim on Teke. That's my AE. Teke is in the... Teke was in that war. So see, I'm truce with everyone bordering me around. Eretniks could be my next goal. The truce with them ends in 6 years though. So I might need to slow down with the expansion and focus on integrating the lands. I have some more diplomatic capacity, so I'm gonna release yet another subject around here. I think for the first 10 years of the game, this is not a bad result. I'm just hoping the Mamuks will not take Constantinople or something in that war. Oh, there goes Black Death. Almost 237 population before the start. I'm gonna move my court into hiding, just to make sure my ruler and my advisors, the cabinet members, will not die. Think for the others, I would prefer to avoid. Yeah, let's just not take the others. And I got the hospitals as well that they built. About buildings, how about we get some more RGOs? But oh yeah, getting done. 40,000 people died in a single tick. That's not good. Italy and us are hurting the most together with Gold North. We can start taking some stuff in Age of Renaissance. Definitely the imperforations is gonna be of use. RGO size and food as well. Let's just slowly... Oh, Riches of Asia. That's for being in Asia. Silk Road. Saying the trade capacity. Where are the Ottoman advances? They're not in this part of the tree. Plenty of advances from the focus that I chose. Oh yeah, more recent progress as well. This is super useful. Let's just stop here. 80,000 in a tick. Mamluks are trying to siege down Constantinople. Minus 71. 136% defensiveness here. And fort of level 4. Because of the Theodosian Wars, right? If you look at the infrastructure, Theodosian Wars. So that's 4 levels of the fort. See, each of the level of the Theodosian Wars gives you +2. A question of customs. Yeah, some more tax efficiency is gonna be useful. And obviously another event for the integration speed. Remember, to get a location to be a core, there are few steps to achieve so. First of all, you need to integrate it. That's what you do via the cabinets. So it changes from red to yellow. Integrated provinces give you +5 max control, but it's still you see pop assimilation speed decrease and 10 separatists. By default, you see it's +50% separatists when it's conquered lands, not integrated. A lot of less pop conversion assimilation speed and -10% control. So you get 15% more control by integrating location. And to get our location from integrated to court, the pops in this location need to have at least 50% of this of the population in this location needs to be accepted or your culture. That's why this is not court, because Turkish culture is 49.4%. We need to get it above 50. RGO missing employees? Well, I'm not surprised. I've lost 800,000 people already. This guy just got released in Nazis. So how about we just use that moment and... Wait, that's a Roman subject. Got debated. So we have to wait for the truce to end. Mamluks are sieging Constantinople for 635 days. And it's still at -64%. Since I got a bit of money saved, I could start thinking about building some roads. And ideally you build roads together with the rivers. because it's much easier to spread the control that way. So how about we build it across this river? It's not like I have lots of money. Yeah, how about we build a road from Bursa to Kutaia, because it's also a town. Remember, also a town gives you additional control. I'm able actually to show you that. I think it should be here. You see, a town is giving 5% max control, but also buildings allowing more of control. So let's get that road down. It's 260 ducats, pretty expensive. Not sure, I think I start with this road. Yeah, it looks like it is one of the starting roads. Really looking forward to burghers to build their roads as well, especially that their loyalty is fairly good. You see, we're getting everything integrated. Ankara already, that it is an integrated, a core province that is also a city, is gonna have a maximum control of 29.5, minus 14% siege, 1.1 thousand days. Thankfully, Mamluks took nothing from Byzantium. I think they just released some subjects, but that's it. They didn't take any lands themselves, which is great. I was afraid they're gonna take Constantinople. End of the Black Death, the Reaper claimed 759,000. It's gonna start giving us more and more money. I might invest into more marketplaces, but I think I have marketplaces to have more trade capacity, but they just don't have people to work on these marketplaces, so let's maybe just let it recover by itself. And these guys are also independent, so let's just declare on them. I probably don't even have to use any levies. My subjects can help. We see Kutaia with that road down and being full core. The max control we're gonna get here is 46. Because if, for example, the cost of proxying from Bursa to Domaik, so the 174 here, it would be by default like what, 38? But I decrease it to 18, minus 18, because I have the gravel road. And same over here, it would be 48, but I also decrease it with the gravel road. In May, I can go ahead and start annexing the Cantarids. Can I already press claims on Byzantium? Let's do that on Kojali. Our truce ends in September, so I will have to attack Eretnitz. And finally, it's the Roman Empire. So let's attack Eretnitz, not them but their subject, because on these guys I have Casus Belli. In a month, East Roman Empire. Yeah, that's a prior click. Now I can raise levies, otherwise I will be not able to declare that second war. Wait, what? Eretnitz? They got these guys into the war for some reason. The allies. Okay, so I might just prioritize taking less lands to get out of this war, but I will take some. Yeah, just something like this and some money. I will be able to give these guys locations once I'm out of the war. For now, let's go and handle East Roman Empire. I think I just got a silver mine. So I'm gonna take the trade efficiency here. Yeah, there's a silver mine north here. I love this event as well, cultural spread in Kutaia. I can get out of Greeks converted to Turkish. Let's do that, so increase our cultural share. Do I go after Constantinople? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna start going after everything else. I also finished the first expansion mission tree, so how about we now go after some economy, and we are gonna work on our infrastructure. I don't know, guys. I kinda want to take Constantinople in that war. It's really plenty of positive stuff that's gonna come out of this. I'll have to siege this. Do I have time? I guess I do. Could I actually get the naval levies and use them to blockade the port? So I get it's a better... How do I blockade that port? Maybe I don't have enough, yeah, blockade efficiency. Argos annexation of Kandar here. I see its immunity. My full course around here. This is not a full core because it's a Pontic culture. Would I like to accept the Pontic culture? Well, accepting is gonna be costly. And so it's even tolerating, so let's just not touch it for now. The Balkan Wars. As long as we own at least 120 locations and presence in the Balkans, I'll be able to use the press claim in the situation to get claims in the Balkans as well, not just Anatolia. But I still can't take Constantinople because I could take a lot, guys. But not Constantinople. You know what's one way? It's out of AE, isn't it? We might also hope that they're just gonna go bankrupt and like all lose it to rebels or something. Well, if we take something like that, still bad. I think, guys, I would call YOLO. But ideally, if I take, like, I could just take less, just not take all of this stuff. I think Constantinople instead, but yeah, let's just keep trying. I think it's karma for laughing at the Mamluks. 900 days already, but I bridge walls, so it's minus 28. Yeah, peace imminent. If in the next 720 days I'm gonna peace out, I'm gonna be forced to peace out. Don't worry, I'm about to take Constantinople. There we go, guys. 200 days before time. How about we take whole Byzantium, because we got the event to core the whole Byzantium if we take Constantinople. And I don't think I have to go crazier. I don't want these guys in the coalition. Bulgaria will not join, right? It's just below Bulgaria joining. Just take money and war reps. And with Constantinople taken, I'm killing the Patriarchate. But that can give me tolerance of heathens, please. And I should get, after the month thing, an event for Constantinople. Just maybe do that. City of the World's Desire. I can make it capital. Which is also gonna give me active migration. And make Byzantium province my cores. Could just make the cores and get money or get prestige. We're gonna roleplay. Let's make it the capital. I think it's gonna decrease my control overall here. That's fine. I will have to rebuild the manpower building. You say I'm gonna stop getting it. Monthly manpower, sergeantry. Let's build a Constantinople. And my truce ended already. This guy, so let's grab a claim and declare again. Let's see who of them doesn't have alliance. Teke doesn't have alliance with Eretnitz. So let's go and attack Teke. Also got new modifiers here. Invite Turkic migration. I can start getting people of the Turkish migrants from under our provinces. This way I can get them my cores, because there's gonna be more Turks but less Greeks in them. So once I get enough money, I'm gonna start using that. Oh, looks like Teke is just a subject of these guys. So I'm gonna be at war anyway. But let me go ahead, maybe not annex these guys, because I'll not make it full cores. Remember, these are lands of a wrong culture. And these guys, when are you getting done? In 8 years, 9 years, you're gonna integrate this. And annexation would take... still this slide a little bit. Let me just annex these guys then. Oh yeah, I also took over the market, right? So now it's my market in Constantinople. And as you say, I have the highest trade advantage. That's still just a little bit higher than Bulgaria, but we work on improving that. But Bulgaria doesn't have trade capacity. So it's us dominating the trade now, so I should be making more money from the trade. There's even a dynamic historical event about the rules of the Aegean Sea, which would allow me to get a dock in Bursa, but also state piracy. Well, you know what? How about we try it out? And that's what I'm telling you. It's not really worth to move the capital Constantinople so early. Had 45 control here, thanks to the roads, to my capital. And the river, it's gonna go down to 17%. Let's just peace out Eretnitz. Maybe just white peace them. I'll come back to you. And from over here, I should be able to fully annex these guys, I think. That's over 100% of the war score. Is any of these guys in that war not a subject? How minutes? I'm not a subject, so the guys here. That's just enough. Let's just white piece them and take everything else. Also, we'll need new subjects around here for sure. I also saw more even expected from that war. Even Venice can join the coalition. From Bulgaria. I guess I just have to make sure to attack Byzantium when the truce ends. And that's in 5 years. Let's look around the world, see what's happening. Astrakhan got released from the Golden Horde. We've got Transoxiana here. One of the cool things, like if I want to check how much content a nation has, I can just click escape, world map. I can just poke around. You see, for example, these guys have one advance for the culture, like one for the Turkic group, for Sunnis, Islam tribe, but nothing specific from Transoxiana. And that's a funny one. VJ, lots of content, has Bahmanis as a subject. You might be also thinking, do I keep this goddamn rise of the Ottoman bonuses forever as far as this situation? No, there are end requirements. By the latest, you can keep it until 1565. But if you expand faster, you get 500 locations and 50 urban locations, you end it. Or, when there's no more bailics, you end it. And you see that's all of the guys that are in color. And the guys that are my subjects can't, so I could just keep one of them as my subjects for it not to end. Or it is at least 1400, and there's no eligible country to be Anatolian Belling with 100 locations. So that's definitely not gonna happen. By the way, this Aydin here, they are Catholic. Do we have any allies? I don't think so. Oh, though they are in the coalition, aren't they? Yeah. But I could get a religious war casus belli on them because they are Catholic. Since I have a bit of money, it's time for me to start investing into a navy. Not only to fight on the sea, but more importantly to increase my maritime presence. You see, the navy is very important to spread maritime presence. And maritime presence is very important to spread control over the sea. It was much stronger 2 patches ago, but they nerfed it a little bit. But it's still a very strong weapon to increase your control over the locations. And it also helps with the trade. You see, maritime presence? I'm getting 3 of the trade advantage over it. And we need more. Trade advantage is how prioritized your trades are over the other nations. So for example, Bulgaria and Venice have trade priority over me. I can get over Bulgaria easily. They have a trade focus, whatever it means. An Italian merchant, yeah, it's gonna take a while to take care of it. So now I'm taking a bit slower, investing money into the buildings. Constantinople gives me a lot of base tax by itself. But RGOs, not buildings. And see, I've got 100 base tax, which is very little compared to my size, but it's mainly linked to the control that I'll be working on increasing. By the way, I think Ottomans had so Legacy of Osman, and I think there's also advanced Ottomans had that increased control that is no longer there. Apparently they got nerfed. The previous religious figure died. The only one that I can choose now is for stability investment and peasant satisfaction, so it's not as good as the previous one. I can fully next edit needs, and AE is not even that tragic. I mean, it's pretty bad, but who cares? Look at that name placement. I just need to release a subject here, and how about we just simply release red needs themselves? They're gonna be pretty big though. I think they might be a bit too big. Yeah, let's just release something smaller. Custom subject. Let's instead release Sivas, give them this. And over here I'm gonna release another subject and also give them a few locations. Now it looks much better. You see, when you have an heir that is under 15, you can choose his education. By default, it's default education, so see, each of the skills goes 0.5. You can choose also education focus on one aspect, where they're gonna get more versus the others. I'll go for the admin education. You might be thinking, I'm so OP, expanding so much, oh my god, nerf these Ottomans, but then look, I'm a great power number 91. Kirishahi just got annexed, and you see I annexed them, also getting full cores on most of the lands. Looks like Eastern Rome is dying. Let's just jump on the bandwagon and declare on them as well. I'm about to get 20 stability, so I could use that to cancel one of the useless privileges, because cancelling privileges takes your stability. This monthly progress to decentralization. Just get rid of it. I could cancel one more, but it's fine. We are at 0 centralization versus decentralization progress, so it's still to be improved. So again, let me show you the beauty of the carpet siege. I don't think they have many armies. So let's just the art begin. I'm not doing anything. Just enjoying my time watching the automation doing all the work. Of course, it's gonna only work when you know that they don't have any armies, right? They would otherwise stack wipe a lot of this. I would just have to use a different objective, which is focus siege, when you use one stack to siege key locations one by one. Let me take all of this from Byzantium. I think that's gonna be too much of AE. Yeah, now Serbia can even join it. Honestly, it's fine. I'm just playing around with the aggressive expansion. We should most likely try attacking these guys to get some of them out of the coalition. But to be honest, it doesn't matter. Probably these guys are more important. Are they in the coalition? Oh, wait, are they my subject? They're my tributary. Okay, so that's why they're not in the coalition. We might just also simply take our time now to scale for the next 1 or 2 decades. I could also just go full all in and attack Bulgaria instead. How's Hungary AE? Yeah, these guys will join the coalition easily if I go too far. Anyway, from the parliament I can speed up the integration process. And let's take some loans to get that claim on Aydin. Oh, I can't do it for the next year, so most likely they're gonna join the coalition. We can spend that money though on inviting the Turkic migration soon. And the coalition will quickly declare the war, which is not bad, because not all of them joined yet, like Bulgaria didn't join, for example. So I should be able to... not easily? Why can raise only 4,000 levies? Did I do something bad, taking them down the last time? That's not good. It's 4,000, I'm screwed. Couldn't really take much from the coalition, but at least I did get to piece them out from just winning battles. Now we have to target Bulgaria as soon as possible, just to avoid them and Serbia creating a new coalition. And probably just release staff instead of taking lands, maybe just a few locations, just to not get these guys into the coalition as well. But yeah, I should press claims soon. For that I need 160 ducats. Let's take loans. Oh, wait, who will help these guys? I might not be strong enough actually to deal with this. Yeah, I can't deal with them. Yeah, how about we just take a break? I finally got the silver mine for myself. The problem is I don't have much control, right? So what's my control in here? I'll be having 19, and then this silver mine it is still 0 because I didn't even start integrating it. I have to start doing that ASAP. Just look how much money I'm getting. 40 ducats a month. That's mainly through really nice taxation, which is partly also from a country modifier I received. High era for the maximum tax. I invest that into RGOs, but also let's get a bit of marketplaces improvement. Another important thing for that high positive balance is that I have 100 stability and 100 legitimacy, so I'm spending much less on this too. Full stability gives me most importantly state satisfaction and pop promotion speed, while high legitimacy is crown power and pop leaf rebels threshold. And that's what I told you, the maritime presence helps a lot with increasing my trade advantage. So I'm catching up to Venice and I'm steadily increasing my trade income. It's a bit less than diplomatic right now. Now look at this, with a bit of investment into marketplaces I'm making much more money from trade. It's mainly gold. And then some of the other trade goods as you see. Let me test it, invite Turkic migration. And I wanted to invite it to Kutaya. Migrate each month from Saffron, okay. And pop assimilation speed is also gained here. So I should use that instead of this to also assimilate faster Turkish Kutaya. So let's see how it's increasing. It is 36.13 of the Turkish, guys. Greek is still pretty strong culture, so it's not gonna be very easy. 36.13, 36.6, so half a percentage monthly. I just need to get this few locations over 50%. Look, Jelarids are back on the map. Pretty small. I'm slowly investing into more and more roads just to spread the control, but it's gonna be a slow process. Another coalition war. This one is also pretty big. Oh, I thought Serbia couldn't join it, but Bulgaria is not in it. And you know, while my AE drops around here, I'll be declaring Bulgaria as soon as I deal with these boys. Again, just defending, getting war score from winning battles, and my levies are back to normal size. It's really like just a matter of running between the front lines and killing them, because Serbia tries pushing from the Balkans, Venice and the others try landing here, so I keep wiping them. So I've killed 17,000 of the troops already, and I'll be even able to fully annex Aydin in that war. Since I have some cities and towns, how about we build some more temples, which gives mass control. So it's just one location that actually doesn't have it. But also bridges. You see, wherever we have a road accompanied by a river, you can build a bridge, which gives another proximity cost. Why can't I build? I can build all over here, yeah. So let's just focus on my own lands, not the subjects. Now look guys, Crimea just got released. So that's a known name. Astrakhan, Magyar, Oka, Kursk, Samara. Some of the names we've seen in EU4, right? So with this bridges slash roads combination slash rivers, proximity to the capital is slowly spreading, but it's gonna take time. And I would have definitely more if I kept my capital in Bursa, but I cannot break like the roleplay. It has to be Constantinople. What I definitely want to build are also bailiffs that are giving local proximity source 20. It used to be 30 in old patches. I'm gonna build it in 2 locations with silver. So I'm just quickly find them, one here and one here. Let's get the bailiffs. So before bailiffs, this has 14 of control, max control. This one has 17.8. Next 2 advances are pretty important. One for the diplomatic annexation cost. I need 300 locations, 188 now, to become a kingdom of the Ottomans, which is my end goal for this first episode of the campaign. And then I'm gonna also get proximity costs from the next advance. Now look, again, 14.94 of maximum control before bailiff. The bailiff is gonna increase my proximity source in this place. We just need to get people hired here first, and then we're gonna compare it. Bailiff fully employed. We've got 20 local proximity source, which allows me to get full control at 33%. You also see it on the proximity map move that it also spreads, right? I've got 5% here, 5% here, 5% here. I could probably increase it by building some roads to have rivers. Yeah, that would work. Just spreading locally the proximity. Oh shit. 3 words. There it is. Temur. 100 deploy 84 in mill. He is careful, martial educator, and defensive planner. Sea fighting Bulgaria is also Serbia, Georgia, Trebizond, Kiev. I'm not sure I can beat Bulgaria, but I'm gonna give it a try. We gotta expand. Just look at this. That might be the hardest war we're gonna have so far. But I have 15,000 levies prepared. Me and my subjects have 26,000. These guys have 19,000. But they might raise more. I like that they fixed that AIs are paying for their garrisons. But I should still be able to rush it. I might regret it. 102 defenders, 5.3 thousand. It did cost a bit, but it is an important fort for the further expansion. Also just got 5,000 slaves from just occupying some locations. But yeah, I will not take more than that in this war, otherwise I would get too much AE. And I think I got pretty much the AE under control. Just look at this. These guys have a lot of these guys are simply subjects, so I don't care about it. So be steadily expanding in the two directions now. Locations count is at 199 and around 40 in my subjects lands. One might say we are a dice empire, but still most of the gold is coming from the sale of gold, but dice is pretty good together with gems. This is what I was mentioning, that when your state has a high loyalty, the higher chance it is that the spare money they're having, they're gonna spend on positive buildings. If the loyalty is closer to 50 or negative, they're gonna spend money on their own buildings. So see, for example, burghers are doing at die markets, I get more dice. My clergy, which I don't tax at all, to get the monthly research progress, they're building a hospital in Ankara, tools guild in Constantinople, and sawmill in Dominik. It's not really efficient to eat all the subjects, but I'm slowly eating that are closer to Constantinople. And this is simply because I want to change Argand from Beylik to Kingdom. That was definitely a goal. We are making more money from the dice versus we are doing from the gold, which I absolutely love. You see, I'm also earning more money from the sand dolls. Yeah, we got rid of Venice in our notes, so it's pretty much all us with a bit of Bulgaria and Wallachia, but actually Bulgaria is making some good money. But the trade capacity is also very big. I feel like I can make even more money. See, I'm making right now 17.5 ducats. Let's invest into more marketplaces to increase that. It's really hard to beat Bulgaria because they bring so many allies. Just look at this. But I've killed 30k of them in this war, and I'm gonna break relations with Serbia, Kiev, and Halif in that peace deal. You know, it seems to be a problem that they have these guys in the potential coalition. Europeans don't care as much, because these guys are Orthodox, these guys are Catholic, right? So continue uniting the Balkans, while I would probably also go after Georgia. And with these two targets and annexing my subjects, I should just get enough of locations to become a kingdom. You can see that I have speed of integration increased by 80% because I just also unlocked the heirs of Room that gave me another 5%. So for example, integrating Burgas is gonna finish in 16 years. It still takes time to integrate stuff. It's time to start upgrading some of the location ranks. You see, I'm pretty much a ruler, but with my money increasing, it is because I'm having additional taxes from the parliament. With the money increasing, I'm gonna start creating some towns, because obviously I don't have money for the cities yet. Where I'm gonna build towns? Well, locations that are close to my capital, that are cores and don't have a good trade goods. Like for example Katalka here with fish, that is my full core next to Constantinople. That's just to spread my control nicely. Taking all of this from Georgia pretty easily. It's lots of AE, but on the countries that don't matter. Volhynia, maybe out, and Kiev. Maybe I'd prefer these two not to join the coalition, which can be rather easily achieved. But let's see what we can do. We need the quantity of the locations, not their quality. Since we're in December, doesn't matter that Volhynia will join, because I'm gonna piece out before the month tick. Just take some money on top of that. Is this enough locations? Is this 200? 300? Yes, it is 309. I was afraid it's gonna be a bit too little. So I think there it is. Classic color of the Beylik of the Ottomans. We'll adopt the country rank of an empire. Yes. That means I can only rival East Roman Empire and Trabzon, because these are empires. That's also additional cabinet slot for us, and we should slowly start focusing on switching cultures and religions in this side of the country, because it's so close to my capital. It's gonna be much more efficient doing it this way. That allowed me to become a great power, number 7. And we don't have any hegemons, because these are gonna be unlocked in Age of Discovery. Let me just also rival Bohemia, I guess it doesn't matter. And let me show you what Empire does. So being an Empire gives you cultures capacity, cabinet seat, more artists, diplomatic range, capacity diplomats, fort limit, great power score, and all of these other modifiers. So now we have enough culture's capacity to accept the Pontic culture. Yeah, so we're on the limit now. The locations here that are already integrated, they're gonna become my cores. Now I have to focus on integrating these lands to also make them my full cores. Our base tax is 300, which is not bad, but anyway, I think this is where I'm gonna finish. Let me just switch the map, so it is the same color. Yeah, now it's beautiful. This is pretty good for 1404. I told you I'll be trying to replicate the speed of the Ottoman expansion historically, and we are faster so far. But that doesn't mean we are gonna keep the speed. I'm gonna try keeping the speed and even maybe exceeding it even farther. But yeah, if you want me to record second part of this series, make sure to like this video and of course subscribe to the channel, because there's be plenty of guides and let's plays coming in the coming days and weeks. And of course, if you decided after this gameplay to purchase EU5 to play it yourself in a few days, make sure to check the pinned comment, because if you buy the game from that link, you're gonna support the channel. Thanks for watching and I'm gonna see you soon.